Hey everyone, I hope you're all well. It's day 24 post-op and I am feeling great. Not good, great. Had a really odd night where I involuntarily lay on my side and felt a stitch pop. I think it was one of the quilting stitches, which is kind of probably midway down my torso, so not in the incision, an internal stitch, and I just felt this pop and I thought, oh my god. And it was sore for about 20 minutes, kept me awake, but it's been fine today, so I'm assuming there's nothing wrong with that. Great news this morning, I got some of my pre-op jeans on. Yay! Winning! Oh, it felt so good to be back in my jeans, and I still got lots of swelling around the incision, but I can deal with that if I can get my jeans on. It's all good. I also had a really good look at the incision today, so had a shower, lots of the steri-strips came off. I've still got a few steri-strips in the bit that was reopened, but all of the others are off. There are still a few scabby bits, but on the whole it's lovely and clean, lovely and low, and is looking really, really good. There's some sort of, you know, puckering in little bits, but that kind of smooths out from what I see from others. But I'm absolutely thrilled with it. Mr. Ahmed has done an amazing job, and it's nice actually because I've been posting pictures and people are saying, oh, who's your surgeon? Because he is just like Mr. Magic and so meticulous. You know, 5.5 hours to do the op just shows how meticulous he is. So that's really good. A little bit of retail today, so bought a few dresses. I think one of the misconceptions with this is that I'm going to drop dress sizes, and I really hope that isn't the case. I don't think it will be. I was pretty much at my target weight when I started, and therefore I'm not anticipating, I'm not anticipating dropping dress sizes. I think my hips are kind of as small as they're going to be. Certainly my top half, I've got huge boobs and massive ribs, so that's not going anywhere. So I think it's just more about clothes fitting better, looking flatter, not having the bulge in the front of my jeans, which means I can tuck tops in, you know, having a more of a waist in dresses, and not having to be too careful about shopping and what I buy, which has always been something I've had to do previously, regardless of size. I've had to think very carefully about the shape, as all women do, of the different clothes that I wear. And now I think I'm going to be able to, you know, rather than have that kind of big midsection that I've always had, being an apple shape, I'm going to be more of an hourglass shape, which will be wonderful. So I'm not anticipating, as I say, going down in size, but I think some of the styles of clothes that I choose will change. I've been reflecting a lot this morning on the journey, so I'm kind of through the 3-week point now, and I'm thinking back to week 1, you know, the pain. I had pain everywhere, felt like I'd been kicked by a horse because of the liposuction, really struggling to stand up and sit down, and needed lots of kind of arm strength to be able to do that and help. Couldn't lie flat, had to lie, you know, properly propped up in bed. I had the most horrific lower back pain because you're constantly hunched over. I mean, literally at the start I was like this, and the pressure on your back is insane, to the point where, you know, at points I was crying with it because it was so painful. Crutches really helped that, and within 5 or 6 days that had passed, but at the time you think it's never going to end. And then kind of in week 2, it's more about, you know, pain from the lipo. You kind of have these feelings of burns and things over your body. I think that's the nerves settling down. It starts to be easier to stand, but the incision feels really tight. Your back's better, but you're still hunched over, and you are exhausted still just doing small things. Pushing then into the third week, things started to get easier. So I've noticed now, you know, to sit on the loo, for example, really easy. You know, it's kind of, I just use the strength in my legs, not a problem. I can lie flat in bed, I can get myself up in the morning. I can stand on my feet for a lot of time. I've done lots of cooking today. It's not a problem. I'm not exhausted. The biggest problem now really, or the issues, is the tightness still around the incision, which feels like a really tight belt. The swelling still, but there's no bruising. There's no sort of feeling of bruising around my torso anymore. That's completely gone. I'm pretty much upright, although my shoulders do need to come back a little bit more, which is just the final bit of pulling up out of my core. And I think part of that is because I can't engage my core fully to walk and to maneuver, and therefore I'm just slightly rounded at the shoulders, so I need to sort that out over the next week or so. And I guess the pulling of the stitches is the bit that I'm contending with. So I do feel that if I just do a little bit too much or move a certain way, you feel a pull. But I have to say, today, that's been all right. So I'm hoping that I'm coming through that as well. So, you know, day 24, thrilled with my progress. It's getting better and better every day. I said at the start of this, it was a 90-day plan. If this is day 24, it's a huge thumbs up. I'm well happy with myself. So we'll see what the next week brings. Have a lovely Saturday night, and I will speak to you all tomorrow. Mwah.